What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, LL, leader of the handmadeandbeyond.com website and community. I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, an Etsy expert, and business coach who's figured out how to make my entire living with my handmade business. Each week, I'll dive into strategies and success tips to help you with your handmade business, with Etsy, and everything in between. Let's dive in. All right, guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome as usual. Hopefully your holiday extravaganza, your holiday Sell-Fest hopefully is going well. You're managing your shops all right, and dealing with all that and the craziness that the holidays bring. And 2020 is about to come to a close, so we can only hope that 2021 will be better. But hey, if you're looking at the glass half full, 2020, there was some good things. It may be harder to find the good things, but there were some good things that happened. But you always got to try and keep a positive mindset because that's how you move forward. So today I want to talk about 5 ways to avoid customer complaints. And this is a big one, especially around this time of the year where you're hopefully getting more sales. With more sales, the influx of more sales, there is also the chance of bad reviews or customer complaints, just because you're having more interactions with customers. And this time of the year is busy. A lot of people are stressed out. So they may take it out on you. And that is part of the gig when you're selling and working with the public in any capacity. You got to deal with complaints. You got to deal with angry people. And you got to make the best of some bad situations. So I want to try and help alleviate some of that, some of those, give you some tips and some strategies that you can use to hopefully alleviate customer complaints and just make it a little bit easier, because no one likes dealing with angry people or angry customers, because that just kind of sucks. But anyways, let's dive in and talk about these 5 ways to avoid customer complaints. So the first one, and this may seem counterintuitive, is to sell quality products. If you're selling products that are, trying to think of a nice way to put this, but if you're selling a crappy product that's made real chintzy, then you're gonna get bad reviews. You're gonna get complaints. So make sure that, especially if you're new, it's easier to make mistakes. Maybe you haven't refined the process of making your products yet. And there may be imperfections, but make sure you refine that and get better at it before you sell the items. Because you don't want to sell something that falls apart or that's not made very well, or just, you know what I mean? We've all gotten stuff from different places, and you get it, and it's terribly made and low quality, super thin, or whatever the case may be, depending on what you buy. And it's not a good look, and that's not a good way to set a solid foundation for growth or for your Etsy shop, because if you get a lot of complaints in a short period of time, you will get shut down. So you got to make sure to start off on a good foot and sell quality products. So make sure you're selling stuff that's well made, that you've tested, that you've refined, looks good, that people will be happy to buy and be happy with. So that's number one. It may seem counterintuitive, but there's a lot of people that just try to throw stuff out there just because they want to make money. And yeah, we're all here to make money, but we're also here to kind of put ourselves out there and be happy with what we create and bring to the world. So you don't want to bring a pile of junk to the world. All right, so the next one is set correct expectations, and this one's multifaceted, and a lot of people miss some of this. So when you're selling something, the right expectations are, making sure that your photos are accurate, making sure that your descriptions are accurate, making sure that your shipping times and processing times are accurate. So the right expectations. If you sell something and the color is off because you used a filter and they get it and it's a different color than they were expecting, they're not going to be too happy. That's not the right expectations. If you have a description and either you're missing something or something's not clear, again, that's not setting the right expectations. You're leaving the door open for a bad review or complaints. Probably processing times and shipping times is the biggest one, especially this time of year. Things may slow down, as far as you being able to produce stuff quickly. So just make sure your processing times are up to date and you're sticking with them. If you have a 1 to 3 day processing time and it's taking you a week to ship stuff out, you're going to have a lot of upset people. That's the fastest and easiest way to get a bad review. So make sure that's up to date. If you have to change it, if you get backlogged and you have to change your processing times, then make sure that you do that. You can bulk change your processing times in Etsy real fast. So just make sure you're keeping that up to date, because that's the easiest way to get dinged. All right, number 3, communication, communication, communication. Make sure you are communicating with your customers. So it's fine if you run into problems. Maybe the easiest problem is running into a delay because you're waiting on materials to come in, or you've gotten backlogged. Just make sure you're communicating with your people, with your customers, and let them know, hey, there's a little bit of a delay. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. And if it's a super long delay, maybe you want to give them a couple of dollars off, or something like that, just to make it right. Maybe give them free shipping, whatever the case may be. But most people, 99.9% of customers, are totally cool with delays and problems if you just let them know about it. If you just let it go, then they're going to stew, and then they're not going to be too happy when they find out there was a problem and you didn't let them know about it, because some customers need stuff for certain events, certain time-sensitive events, and that's where people will get upset. Is if you didn't let them know they were planning on having it at a certain time, they didn't get it, they're going to be PO'd. And also with communication, fast communication. If a customer asks you, or even a potential customer asks you something, make sure you're communicating fast. There's nothing more frustrating and infuriating than if someone sends you a message, or if you send someone a message and you don't get a response for days. That is very frustrating, especially if you spent money with this company and they can't even respond to you in a timely fashion. So just make sure you are responding quickly and not leaving people hanging. Maybe you don't even have the answer, and that's fine. Just respond and tell them, I see your message. I'm checking on this, and I'll be able to give you an update soon. Just give them the common courtesy of letting them know that you saw the message. That'll really go a long way. Communication is key, especially when there's problems. Number 4 is your wow factor. All right, so you want to make sure you're going above and beyond and wowing your customers. This kind of goes back to number 1, by selling a quality product, a high quality product. So when they get it, they're going to be wowed. They're going to be very pleased. There's other things that you can do to wow them. Maybe it's how you're packing the item. That's really neat. That's really cool that you took a lot of care. You didn't just throw the item in a box with no bubble wrap. Taking extra care when packaging the item, depending on what you're selling. Maybe it's a note, a thank you note on the packing slip that goes in the box. That goes a long way. Maybe you include a coupon for a future purchase. That's really cool. You can get reoccurring revenue from multiple purchases from the same person. So that's always a smart thing to do. It's also a wow thing to do. So there's a lot of things that you can do to really wow the customer, and it goes back to number 4 too, in your communication, make sure you're always thankful, always positive, and respond fast. I mean, that is a wow thing. I always, in my communication to potential customers, when they ask me a question, I respond fast, I answer their question, and then I always thank them for checking out my shop. If it is a customer, no matter what they ask, I always thank them for their business or thank them for their purchase. Tell them we appreciate you. It's good to know that they're appreciated. A lot of times you buy stuff from big box stores and you don't know, they don't know who you are. They don't appreciate their individual customers because they're getting sales left and right. We are not. So it is really nice to go out of your way to show that appreciation, because the customers are coming to Etsy to buy from small business owners, and it's good to take time out of our day to appreciate that because they keep us going. So we want to let them know that they're valued, and that's why they will continue to shop on Etsy, not just with you, but with other customers. So if everyone on Etsy is doing their part to appreciate the customers, it will continue to grow and continue to be profitable for many Etsy sellers. So it's not, there's a bigger picture. It's not all about you as the individual seller as well. You're creating, expectations for the Etsy marketplace as a whole. All right, the last one I want to talk about is bad reviews. So this one is, if it's not really we want to avoid bad reviews, but you're inevitably, if I can say that word, going to get a bad review. So these other things that I talked about before will help you avoid bad reviews. But when you get a bad review, what do? Well, the first thing that you want to do is reach out to them as soon as possible. An easy way to do that is download the Sell on Etsy app. You can set up push notifications for sales, there's a couple of things. I think there's sales, conversations, and then bad reviews in general. Hopefully you're not getting a lot of bad reviews, but I like to have it set up for reviews because seeing the nice reviews is awesome. But most importantly, when the bad review does roll in every once in a while, granted, I think I've only, in selling on Etsy for 7 years, I think I've only gotten 4 or 5 1-star reviews. So it doesn't happen too often for me, and that's out of almost 15,000 sales. So it doesn't happen too often, but it will happen eventually. It's just a matter of time. So when I get the push notification, what I do is reach out to them. First, apologize. Second, find a solution, make it right. Whatever the solution is, I will do it. Whether it's a full refund, whether it's ship a replacement item, where it's ship a replacement item and give a refund, full or partial. Maybe I've had it where I've given people additional items as well. So I've shipped them, maybe there was a mess up and I've shipped them the item, then I allowed them to pick 1 or 2 other items to ship with it, just to kind of give the extra effort to kind of wow them after the fact and just show that I'm sorry. So depending on your business, depending on your niche, there's a couple of things that you can do there. If you're selling $200 items, you're not going to give them a free item. That doesn't make any sense. And so just depending on what it is, but have a solution ready. And it's always good to go above and beyond with a bad review person because they're already not happy. So what we're trying to do really is change their mind, change their perception, change what happened. And it may not even be your fault. Doesn't matter. Reviews matter. So we have to turn it around and change their perception of your shop. And 99.9% of the time, after you fix the issue, you can ask them to update the review. And I've had every single person that's left me a bad review, except one, go back and update the review. Whether they update it to 5 stars or they update it from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, hopefully they update it to 5. That's what you want if you wowed them. But if they don't, either way, updating it will help you and it will take away that bad review. Now, I think it may still ding you as far as Etsy's concerned initially, but in the long run, it's taking out that bad review. So when customers are looking at your shop and looking at the reviews, they're not going to see that 1-star review. But as far as on the back end with Etsy, I'm not sure how that's looked at. I've heard that it may still count within that period of time, which I'm not sure what it is. I don't think Etsy really tells you. It's just on the back end, they do keep a scorecard basically on your shop of how many infractions you have. And if you have too many infractions like reviews, copyright infringement, different things that are in their infractions list, your shop can get suspended or shut down. So that's why we want to make sure we're doing everything on the up and up, and we want to make sure that we're getting as many good reviews as possible. So those are the 5 things, the 5 ways to avoid customer complaints, wow your customers, keep your customers happy, keep them coming back for more, because that's what we want, whether it's to your shop or to Etsy. We want to do our best to wow customers coming to Etsy and to the Etsy marketplace, because it will help us all. And hopefully those things help you guys out as far as refine your strategies and your methods and the things that you're doing with your own business, so you can get more reviews and please your customers more and get more customers coming back to you, because at the end of the day, that's what keeps us going, keeps us growing, and keeps us successful. Outside of that, if you guys want to join the Handmade and Beyond community, I would love to have you in there. We have hundreds of Etsy sellers in the Handmade and Beyond community working together, growing their shop. It's a safe place where you can come, interact with myself, with other Etsy sellers in the help forum, work on strategies, work on best practices, ask me for help. If you need help growing your shop, you need to run something by me. We also have live monthly coaching calls where you can interact with me and other sellers talking about different strategies and best practices to grow your shop. Make sure you're doing the things necessary to grow your business. And then I have over 30 courses teaching you the strategies, best practices, and everything I've learned in my 7 years on Etsy. And everything I learned from growing my shop from 0 to over 6 figures a year for the last 3 years going now, I put into those courses so you guys can do the same. They're walkthrough videos. I dive into my own shop, talk, hold you by the hand, talk about strategies. And then outside of that, like I said, there is the help forum and there's the live coaching as well component, because there's nothing worse than watching a course or learning something, and then there's no place to go to ask questions about what you just learned, because chances are not everything is going to make sense. So I wanted to make sure to create a program where you didn't have to worry about that. You can continue to learn, continue to grow. I'm always adding new stuff, new courses in there as well. So it is a living, breathing membership, and I would love for you to be a part of it. You can join for 30 days free, because I know you're going to love it and want to stay longer, but you can get full access for 30 days free, get access to a live coaching call, a help forum, and all the courses, and then stay with me longer and continue to grow. My most successful members have been with me a long time, just because it is a journey. It does take time to grow your shop, but I want to help you speed that up as much as possible so that you don't have, you're not overwhelmed, you're not frustrated, and you're not trying to figure it out like a lost little boy in the woods like I was for the first couple of years of doing Etsy. That's not fun. So there's a link below if you guys want to hop in there and join the other sellers, join myself, and work on turning your Etsy business into a real business, setting yourself up for a bright future. So I'd love to have you in there, and I would love to start working with you. Outside of that, that is all for today. Hopefully you got something out of those tips. Until next week, have an awesome rest of your day.